What if the moon decided to take a nosedive into Earth? Sounds like a wild sci-fi flick, right? But stick with me. This cosmic catastrophe is weirder and more fascinating than you'd expect. Today, we're diving into the mind-blowing chaos of what would happen if the moon, our trusty nightlight, came crashing down over the course of a year. Buckle up for a wild ride through science, tides, and a sprinkle of apocalyptic madness. Why doesn't the moon crash already? Let's kick things off with the basics. Why isn't the moon already plummeting toward us? Earth's gravity is constantly tugging at it, like a kid yanking on a balloon string. So why does it just hang out up there, all smug and glowy? The secret is its sideways motion and orbit. Think of it like throwing a ball. When you toss it, it arcs through the air, making a tiny orbit before gravity pulls it down. The moon? It's like that ball, but moving at a blistering 3,600 kilometers per hour, falling sideways around Earth so fast it never hits the ground. No air resistance in space means it just keeps zooming, orbiting every 27 days. Pretty slick, right? Now, to make the moon crash, we'd need to slam on the brakes, hard. Slowing it down would mess with its orbit, sending it spiraling toward us. But here's the kicker. Even billions of rocket engines couldn't budge the moon much. It's massive. We're talking 73 quintillion tons. So for this thought experiment, we're waving a magic wand to slow it down just enough to crash into Earth in exactly 1 year. Let's see what happens. The slow descent begins. For the first few days, you'd barely notice anything. The moon looks a tad brighter, and scientists are probably freaking out in their labs, but life goes on as usual. The moon's main gig on Earth is controlling the tides, thanks to its gravity pulling on our oceans. Normally, this creates a gentle rise and fall of about half a meter twice a day as Earth spins beneath it. But as the moon creeps closer, things start getting weird. By the end of month 1, the moon's halfway to Earth, and tides are no longer cute little waves. They're now surging to 4 meters high. Coastal cities like Miami or Tokyo start flooding daily. Picture people kayaking to work or fishing from their balconies. It's chaotic, but kind of funny. Until you realize the water's not stopping. Tides turn catastrophic. By month 2, the moon's 2/3 of the way here, and tides are hitting 10 meters, taller than a 3-story building. Ports shut down, and global shipping grinds to a halt. No more next-day delivery for your favorite snacks, and worse, food supplies start running low. About 1 billion people living near coastlines are displaced, scrambling for higher ground. Internet? Toast. 95% of it runs through underwater cables, and their land-based terminals are now underwater theme parks. Inland folks aren't safe either. Rivers start flowing backward during tidal bores, carrying salty water that ruins drinking supplies. Gas stations dry up as coastal oil refineries shut down, and rationing becomes the new normal. Cities turn into scavenger hunts during low tide, with people rummaging through flooded streets before the water rushes back. High-rises become the only safe spots. And let's just say, elevator rides get real awkward. Satellites and earthquakes join the party. By month 3, the moon's close enough to mess with our satellites. Normally, it's too far to bother them, but now its gravity warps their orbits. Navigation and communication satellites start dropping like flies, leaving GPS and phone signals in shambles. Good luck finding your way to the grocery store, or what's left of it. By months 4 and 5, tides hit a jaw-dropping 30 meters, and soon they'll reach 100 meters. At low tide, oceans recede hundreds of kilometers, exposing the seafloor like a muddy desert. At high tide, walls of water swallow farms, homes, and even skyscrapers. But the real trouble starts when the oceans can't handle the moon's gravitational squeeze anymore. With the oceans only about 3 kilometers deep on average, the water can't absorb the strain, and the Earth itself starts to feel the pinch. The planet's crust gets squeezed, triggering earthquakes of unimaginable scale. Tectonic plates groan under the weight of sloshing oceans, and volcanoes wake up in places like Chile, New Zealand, and even Yellowstone. Fun fact, Yellowstone's supervolcano could erupt enough ash to block out the sun for years. Yay, bonus apocalypse. The moon, still looking like a small cloud in the sky, is now bright enough to turn night into twilight. Spooky, but kind of beautiful. The moon gets a new look. By month 6, the moon's close enough to park where our geosynchronous satellites used to be, orbiting Earth every 24 hours. It looks like it's frozen in the sky, cycling through phases daily but only visible to half the planet. Tides freeze too. Half the world is permanently flooded, while the other half sees the oceans retreat. It's like Earth's holding its breath, waiting for the worst. Here's where things get wild. The moon starts to stretch. Earth's gravity pulls harder on the moon's near side, turning it into an egg shape. This triggers moonquakes, cracking its surface like a cosmic eggshell. By months 8 to 11, the moon's so close that tides reverse direction because it's orbiting faster than Earth spins. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions go into overdrive, spewing aerosols that turn the sky rust red. Daily eclipses dim the sun, and acid rain and summer snows kill off crops. Civilization? Pretty much done for. The grand finale. By month 12, the moon hits the Roche limit, the point where Earth's gravity overpowers the moon's. At about 10,000 kilometers away, the moon can't hold itself together and disintegrates into a massive ring system, like Saturn's cooler cousin. Billions of tons of lunar rubble smear across the sky, creating dazzling arches that shimmer day and night. Meteor showers of moon dust light up the atmosphere, and for a moment, it's breathtaking. But don't get too comfy. The oceans recede one last time, giving survivors a brief break. Then, one of two things happens. If too much moon dust rains down, friction could heat the atmosphere, potentially boiling the oceans. If not, the rings and volcanic ash block sunlight, triggering a deep freeze that could turn Earth into a giant ice cube. Either way, it's not exactly beach weather. So, what's the takeaway from this cosmic crash? The moon's not just a pretty face in the sky, it's a key player in keeping Earth stable. Its gravity shapes our tides, and its orbit is a delicate dance with our planet. Messing with that balance would unleash chaos on a scale we can barely imagine. Fun fact, scientists think the moon's been slowly drifting away from Earth for billions of years, so a crash is super unlikely. Phew. This thought experiment shows how interconnected our planet's systems are. Tides, earthquakes, volcanoes, even our internet. All of it could crumble if one piece of the cosmic puzzle goes haywire. It's a reminder to appreciate the delicate balance that keeps our world spinning. If the moon ever decides to crash the Earth party, it's safe to say we'd have a rough year. From towering tides to crumbling cities, egg-shaped moons to dazzling rings, it's a wild ride from start to finish. But for now, let's be grateful our lunar buddy is staying put, orbiting happily at 3,600 kilometers per hour. So, next time you look up at the moon, give it a little wave. It's doing a lot more for us than just looking pretty. What do you think? Would you stick around to see the rings or head for the hills? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.